When you were using drugs, Mr. Malloy, do you remember the best you ever had?
Berkeley, 1978. Some Mexican black tar that Carly and Pedro were slinging.
So, imagine that flowing inside your veins again. Now, multiply it by miles to the rings of Saturn and back. He had taken what he called un petit coup, the little drink. Not enough to kill me, but just enough to keep him fit. It takes an enormous amount of restraint for us, the little drink. And for a human, experiencing it for the first time, it was unsettling. And not for the physical toll on my body, which was significant, but for the feelings of intimacy it awoke within me.
This concept right here is called the little drink. I think it's very important to understand for somebody who's utilizing the biology first approach, right? Because this is a double-edged blade, right? Just like plausible deniability is a double-edged blade, having good dick is a double-edged blade too. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because one, not every woman's feeling you. Some women are no limit soldiers. They're detached. They detach their emotions from sex, right? And in detaching their emotions from sex, they're in a position where if you try to give them aftercare when you dom them out the first time you fuck them or something like that because you wanted to do too much, right? They will get scared and they'll take that as inadvertent behavior. Then they'll feel like you're a fuckboy trying to play with their emotions, right? Sometimes you give a woman dick that's too good the first time. They're going to feel like you're trying to play with their emotions, right? So this is the little drink. But then the other flip side of that, when you're utilizing the biology first approach, is if you dom a woman the fuck out the first time you fucking with her, you're taking her all the subspace, you're doing all this extra shit, and you're using a biology first approach, then you may take that woman all the way to E, right? You might take her all the way to E, and then she will go through damn near a mental breakdown, right? Damn near a mental breakdown. Because you're taking her and causing her to feel things she never felt before. So you have to understand the little drink. Now, what is the little drink? Have rules set up where a woman has to earn the better dick from you. It's not that you're giving her bad dick, but when you have levels to your sex game, there are many levels to it, right? So put it on a grading scale. Put it on a grading scale, right? And even once you reach the A game, your A game should still be improving. It should still be improving. There's always new places to take it. Always set new sexual and non-sexual goals, both for yourself and for your dynamics. But when you first meet a woman, you should be giving her the C minus. You know, you don't want to give her F game, like where you just nut in 2 minutes and it's called it a day. I ain't saying you should do all that. I mean, that's gonna be enough for some women to get off if they feeling you enough, but that's not the point. You might want to give her about maybe 10 minutes of some 10 minutes, like 2 positions. Let her know that you can hit the spot. You know what I mean? Show her, give her a little flashes in the pan of what things can be. Don't do too much. Give her a little taste. If she's feeling you, she'll come back for some more. Because most dudes can't fuck. So even if you give her the C minus dick, that's gonna be better than most of the dick she's ever had. For most women. It's the little drink, right? And I've been a proponent of this idea of not leading with the A game dick for a while, because if you've ever done it, you might have dealt with some shit. These are player problems, right? If you ain't got no levels to your dick game, you might have to get that bitch with the best you got. I'm being honest with you, right? But once you know you've carefully carved and crafted and sculpted your sex game to a certain point, then there's certain things that you don't want to do too soon. You just give her flashes in the pan of showing her what it can be, while giving her something that's a little bit more basic, right? Now, a lot of this concept, I was already doing it, but a lot of this concept came from studying Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles, right? Interview with the Vampire. Lestat, first time he fed on Louis, right? Within, especially the new version of Interview with the Vampire. With Lestat, Louis Dupont du Lac, right? And he didn't drain him all the way dry. He hit him with the little drink, still felt that ecstasy, but he didn't take him to the brink of death. He didn't take him to a place where he was going to die. He didn't take him to a place where he was going to be so drained within his cup, his life force energy, his blood, that he would either have to die or to be prematurely integrated into a situation where he wasn't prepared for the outcome. Now, Lestat didn't, he turned somebody who was in survival mode submissiveness, right? Louis was going through so much shit in his life with his brother's death, his mother blaming him for his mother's death, all these other things taking place, that he wanted death already. Don't integrate with some woman who is already on the brink of death, right? She's deathly depressed. She's just in a terrible state of mental health. It's the little drink. The little drink. Right? So these are just some things to understand, especially when you're utilizing the biology first approach. Never lead with the A game dick, man. Don't do that. That's not smart. It's not smart. If you're dealing with a no limit soldier, she may want all that extra shit. Don't do all that, because sometimes that could come off as if sex bombing, right? You know, because they talk about love bombing, and they talk about love bombing as far as affection, and love bombing as far as attention, right? Love bombing as far as gifts. You can love bomb with your sex game. Sex bombing, where you're giving so much up front and then you pull it away, right? And this is something that can naturally occur if you're dealing with a woman that you're just not that attracted to, right? Especially if you've been in a little bit of a drought, and then you meet this woman, you're excited about the scenario, maybe you got a point to prove, so you're beating that shit up, you're going crazy on it. A couple weeks later, a couple months later, you go from fucking this bitch for 5-6 hours. I mean, hey, listen, some dudes get down like that. I've been that guy. And then next thing you know, you just let her give you head, or you just fuck her for 10 minutes, give her 4 to 6 orgasms, 2 to 4. And then you go from giving her like 10, 15 orgasms to like, or 20 in a night to like, okay, cool, I'm gonna just give her 2 to 4. And then I'm gonna just have her suck me off. When she's already performing well, you wanna make sure that you're rewarding good behavior. At the point that a woman is giving you better behavior, and then you're not giving her better dick to correspond to that, and more time and attention to go along with that, you're putting yourself in this position where you're starting to appear as a feminine dominant, because it appears that you led with something that you're not going to maintain, right? So this is the little drink. It's Coach Brody. I'm out.